Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for attending the Sales Builder Loyalty Academy webinar. I'm Dina Anders, and I'll be reviewing some of the old and new triggers that you can use to set up automatically generated emails inside a Sales Builder. And I just wanted to remind everyone that at any time during the webinar, you can type in any questions that you might think of in the box, and at the end I will go over those with you guys. Okay, so let's move on into Sales Builder. And here I've just logged in and went to Communications, and I'm going to go to my Campaign Manager. And then I'm going to click on a default Premier campaign. So these are all the emails that are already going out on your campaign and automatically being sent. So what we're going to do is we're going to add an email to this campaign. And all right, I'm just going to start with a brand new one. So we're going to click Add New Email. And this brings up just the blank email generator here. So what you want to do is give it a name. And let's just go over first the near a reward trigger. So here is where you would design your email in the content area. You can add your logos and pictures and make it look, like the current emails that you have. You can copy and paste the HTML from those and move it into here, and then just kind of edit it or use your email template that's already been created for you, and then just add the text. But you would want the text to say something. It would really have to be based on what rewards you have set up. But let's just say, for example, every 100 points, your customers get a reward or an offer. So to set this one up, you'd want to say something, like you are only 10 points away from earning a free pizza. Something to that extent, you would want to set the parameters for it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and save this one. Of course, like I mentioned, you can use your template that looks like the emails that you currently send out, or you can create and design something new in here. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to leave it that way. I'm going to save it. And then we're going to go down here, and this is where the email went. So it doesn't show up in your campaign yet. You have to add it in this step right here. So this is also where we are going to set the trigger. So if you're wanting to send out an email that shows they're 10 points away, and you have the reward, the trigger set for 100 points, then what we'll do is we're going to select the point balance trigger. And then right below here is where you'll see it talks about all of the boxes for the trigger values and what they actually apply to. So it's sent when the point balance crosses X, expires after Y days, and Z equals whether to consume points upon triggering yes or no. So for this one, we're going to want to send it out at 90 points. So every time the customer reaches 90 points, it's going to send out this email that we created that says they're only 10 points away from earning a free pizza. So then they know the next time they come in, as long as they're getting 10 points, then they're going to get a coupon for their free pizza. And we usually just have this set for 30 days, but you can set it to whatever you want. And on here, whether to consume points upon triggering Yes or no? I think we should probably leave this one. I guess we're going to leave this one at, oh, we're going to leave it as in for no, because we want the points to stay there so that when they do reach 100, it will trigger their other reward that they're going to get. So we're going to leave that to no. Make sure that it's set for 90 points if you're wanting to do, you know, 10 points out to the next and you have a $100 reward set. And then all you have to do is just link it to the Premier campaign. And now it's going to show up here. And the trigger is already set. If you ever want to change what you initially did, like if you'd rather it go out 15 points or you want to change the expiration date, this is where you would come in and do that. All you have to do is just click right here under the trigger column, and it brings up those values that we put in originally. You can change them and then hit save. So that's really all there is to it to set up that Nero reward trigger. Let's go ahead and go over some of the other triggers. We do have a couple of new ones, and I know that there is some confusion about some of the old ones, so I'd like to just kind of go over some of these. The welcome activation, this is for when they join. Now, you guys probably aren't going to ever need to set up a welcome one because we do that for you. But the activation one is one that you can set up on your own. And what this does is it's going to send out an email after the customer goes to their profile and fills out all of the required fields. Now you can attach an offer to this if you'd like, and kind of reward them for filling out all their information. That way everything is up to date and accurate in the Sales Builder database and in your point of sale system. Again, it tells you right underneath the trigger what the values are. So it's sent upon the member initially filling out the required fields on way to a landing page. So it's sent delayed X minutes. So if you want to delay it to where it doesn't send as soon as they do it, like let's say it sends 2 hours after they've filled everything out, then you would just put 120 here for 120 minutes. And then offer expires after Y days. We'll just leave 30. And that would set up the activation trigger for you. And then once it shows up here in your list of media, if you would like to attach an offer and give them a reward for filling that out, then you would just come here and select, and then select which offer you would like to give them. So let's go back and go over some of these other triggers here. The birthday and extra birthday, half birthday, we usually set those up for you in the beginning, but if you for some reason want to change them, add different ones, then you can come here. The anniversary, the same, and lost customer, we set those up for you. But anytime you ever want to change any of these, if you just click, you'll see what they are. And you'd want to do it actually over here. So if you already had a lost customer email set up and you wanted to change it, you just click here, and when you highlight over where it says lost customer, then it'll tell you, or you can select it down at the bottom where we were, and it'll tell you there what the values are. So you have it, currently we'd have it set up for 60 days. In this case, it's sent when the customer hasn't been in for 60 days. If you want to change that, you just come in and you can make it anything that you want it to be. So if you want to change it to 90 days, just put 90 and hit save. Now on that particular trigger, the Z field doesn't have a value. It's still there. There's still a box for it, but there's just no value to it, so it doesn't really have a function for that trigger. Another one here that you guys would really benefit from is this newsletter trigger. It's sent to go out the first Thursday of each month. So if you're setting up an automatic newsletter to go out, this is the trigger you'd want to use. Now remember, if you're wanting to customize that newsletter each month and make it different and put the new month and stuff, you would have to go in prior to the first Thursday of each month and edit the email so that it doesn't send out last month's email. But that's all you would have to do. You would just need to go in and make any quick changes that you needed to make. You could do it at any time after it sends, and then just save it in the campaign, and it would send out the first Thursday of each month. The point certificate, this is one that if you're doing a revolving reward that we'll set up for you in the beginning, and this is, it's sent upon reaching X number of points. So like I was talking about before with that newer reward, if you have a reward set up to go out every 100 points, then this is the trigger that we would use for that. And what we would do is just, for example, we would set it for X as 100, and every 100 points it would trigger the offer that's attached to it and the email, and it would go out. On this one, we always leave Y as 0, and Z is going to be the number of days before the coupon expires, so that's usually set to 30. It defaults to that, but if you'd like to change it again, you could just go up in here and make a change. The all-time spending reward is if you want to reward a customer that, say, is very loyal and comes in all the time, and they spend a lot, and you want to give them a special offer or reward on top of what you currently have set up for your customers. So, in addition to giving them something every 100 points, you could set up multiple all-time spending rewards, or just one or two. It's up to you. But let's just say they've spent $1,000 since they've joined the program, and you want to give them something extra special. Then you can create an email and attach this trigger to it, and then what you would do is in the X field you would put 1,000, and in the Y, let's just say 365 days on this one. So you're giving them a year to come in and use it, because you're rewarding them for spending that much money. So this one's not based on points, it's based on dollars spent. So it's going to look at the total dollars spent and not their points. So this is how it determines, if you've got a reward that resets itself back to 0, this is how it determines that customer deserves the spending reward, as it's looking at dollars spent. The visits trigger, this is one of our newer ones, and you can also reward customers based on how many number of visits that they have. So instead of dollars spent, you would just be rewarding them on how many times they come in. On this one, the X value is how many visits. So let's just say every 50 visits, you want to give them an offer. We'll give it a 90-day expiration. And Z equals Y to repeat on multiples of X. So on this, we'll just leave it as Y. and this would give them the offer that you set, a coupon every 50 times that the customer comes in and makes a transaction. Let's do the point balance right here. This is the one that we used earlier in the near a reward, and again, you can use this sort of like the all-time spending reward. The only thing is if you have a revolving point certificate already set up, then using this point balance for anything over that amount for the point certificate wouldn't really work. You would need to use the all-time spending reward, but the point balance one works really good if you've already got a revolving reward set up to do that near a reward or a halfway point. Like you're halfway there, then you could put 50 here if it's $100 or 100-point reward. Then if you put 50, you could create one that's you're halfway there, only 50 more points until you've earned your free pizza. If you're not using a revolving trigger like the point certificate, then you can set different rewards to go out with this point balance, and you can create as many as you want. So say you, instead of every 100 points, you wanted to do 100 point, and then you wanted to do a 250 point, and then a 500 point reward. So you would just create multiple emails and set each one with a different trigger. So you'd have to have one for 100, and then one for 250, one for 500, etc. But that's how you would do that, and each different balance that you wanted to give offers for would have to have its own separate email, and then you could change which offer you're giving at each balance. So this works good if you want to give higher rewards for customers that are getting higher balances. Let's see. This preload X time from start, this is another trigger that a lot of people just don't know about. It's good it's sent after X amount of time. So, and it means from X amount of time that they joined. So if you want to send them some kind of special email or offer a week after they joined or 2 weeks after they joined, then you would just set it, let's say we want to do 2 weeks after they join, so we're going to put 14 and then a D for days, but you can do it up to the minute, the hour, just however you want to do it. And then we're going to leave the Y blank. Oh, sorry, no, we are going to leave, let's see, we'll put 30 even though it defaults to that, and we're going to leave the Z blank because it doesn't have a value in this one. So this is where you would just set up an email that's showing some kind of, thank you for joining. We're glad to have you as a customer. It's been 2 weeks, etc. You can throw in a little special offer in addition to the welcome email that goes out to them. Okay, does anyone have any questions about using triggers? We actually have several articles in our knowledge base that go over some of these triggers in detail, and we'll be sending out a follow-up email with the links to those articles in the emails. But anytime that you guys have any questions about the triggers, or you're running into problems, you just need a little assistance, don't hesitate to put in a support ticket, and one of us will get back with you and help you with that. Again, there's myself, Susie, and Crystal, and we're always glad to help whenever we can. We'd like to thank you for attending, and just remember that you can always reach us through the support module. And this is going to conclude our webinar for today, and we look forward to seeing you back here again next month.